Welcome, everybody, to Charlotte Motors Speedway. My name is Josh Hall. You're watching Intensity Broadcasting, and we're here at Charlotte for the iOS Cup Series. Graphics by Skylord Graphics. That's Stephen Black's new design, so check him out, Skylord Graphics. And let's take a look here at our points as we got a battle going on. This is the last race before the playoff cutoff, so we're going to be... 1 second, as I'm having trouble with my graphics here. Let's try this again. There we go. Let's take a look at our playoff standings. This is a cutoff race right now. And currently, Brian Nudie, Bobby Mays, Stephen Black, and Isaiah Gill all out of the points right now. So they got to have a good finish here. Daniel Michelle, Eddie Morris, Chris Wheeler, Kyle Mays. Those would be the 4 drivers I would put on the bubble. With Will Witt, Brian Dees, Cody Moore, and Kyle Willems more locked in than anybody else. But I know Will Witt is not going to be here tonight. As well as, just double check my information here so I can get this right. Will Witt and Daniel Michelle are both not going to be here tonight. Unfortunately, Michelle had a funeral that he's got to go to. So our thoughts and prayers to his family. And Will Witt's just out of town tonight. So we're going to roll on over and let's take a look at our team standings. So right now, Cyclone Racing is just kind of running away with this. They've got almost a 50-point lead over Intensity Racing Team. Then Carolina Sim, Operators Motorsports, or Operators Racing, excuse me, and Secondhand Motorsports. So as the season is, or this playoffs are coming to a close, we're coming to the end of this round. Right now, Stephen Black is the fastest car on track, with Michael White the second fastest. See Nick Mather sitting back in the 9th position right now. Kyle Mays, one of our playoff drivers here. And the playoff banners on the top of the car will distinguish who's in the playoffs. Actually, looks like Kyle Mays is running the Pelican Snowball playoff banner, but it's kind of the same league, so we'll roll with it. Yep. Kyle Mays is sitting 5th in points right now, so again, kind of a bubble driver, so he's got to make his way in. You know, Stephen Black currently sitting back in 11th in points, so he's got to have a good finish here. Here's Eddie Morse, another one of the playoff drivers, sitting currently in the 7th position on the bubble. Brian Nudie, another playoff driver on the bubble, hoping to get himself into the race, into the next round of the playoffs now. And a couple names in the playoffs I don't see right now. Don't see Cody Moore. Brian Dees is on track, though, and he's in the playoffs. Sitting currently in the 3rd position with that Spider-Man ride. So we got just under a minute left in practice. Colin Willems, another one of our playoff drivers. Currently 5th in points. And then Isaiah Gill, currently 12th in points. He's going to have to pretty much win to get in here. Him and Stephen Black are both in a position where they need to win to get in. Bobby Mays, also a playoff driver. He's sitting back in 10th. He's going to have to win to get in. So basically, Brian Nudie, Bobby Mays, Stephen Black, Isaiah Gill are in that Game 7 type moment here where they have to win to get in to the playoffs as Brian Dees moves himself up to 2nd on the board. Again, you're watching the iOS Cup Series here at Charlotte. We're going to get some qualifying underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining us tonight here on Intensity Broadcasting. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, whether you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. If you're watching on eRacing TV, we appreciate you watching there. What's eRacing TV? Well, it's a free app that you can download for your Fire Stick or your Roku TV, and you can watch live iRacing 7 nights a week on the big screen. Don't even have to whip out the computer or your phone or your tablet. Watch it right there, live on the big screen. We got qualifying starting underway here. And first car out on track, that's the 47 of Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. A little loose off of turn 4 there. And through the little quad oval here to open up his first lap. And these guys are going to want to get that car right down on that blue line. That's the shortest and fastest way around the track. These guys are running that high downforce, low horsepower, 550 horsepower package that Stephen Black loves so much. This is his favorite package, and we're hoping to see him have a great run here so he can tell us about how much he loves this package. Michael Provolt, the first car to make a lap here, and he's going to move up to the top. As I say that, Michael Lawrence jumps to the top of the board. Got Brian Merle Jr. out on track as well, just starting to roll. Sylvain Seguin out on track in that Coke Energy machine. And Chris Wheeler out on track, another one of our playoff contenders there. Sponsorless ride, but has the playoff banners on it, so at least we know he's in the playoffs, which is important to know. Got that orange spoiler as well. Bright orange tape. Will be easy to find him throughout the race. You got Kyle Mays out on track as well. Kyle Mays, playoff contender in both here in the iOS Cup Series as well as in the Pelican Snowball Series. As you can see by the Pelican Snowball banner across the top of that car, and I believe he is also currently in the points. Yes, he's currently in the playoffs in the Truck Series as well, so Kyle making the playoffs in those 3 series. I'm not sure if he runs ARCA and if he's in the ARCA playoffs or not, but I'm sure if he is, he'd be up there as well. As he is currently in the ARCA playoffs as well, so this man is in every playoff imaginable with the iOS and Pelican Snowball Series. As Kyle Mays is going to jump to the top of the board, Brian Merle Jr. is going to jump to second. Here goes TJ Floyd out there. TJ Floyd currently in the 8th position as he comes off turn number 2. Rockets down the backstretch on his qualifying attempt here. See where he can land himself on the grid. Gets right down to that blue line. Oh, he's a couple feet off the blue line. Starts to push up the track a little bit. That's going to hurt his time just a little bit as he comes across the line. And he's going to move himself up into the 3rd position. Nick Mather now rolling out on track from London, Ontario, in the Smokies Poutine car. Also see Zachary Cox rolling out on track as well. So Nick's making his way through off of turn number 4 right now, trying to put down a good lap here. Going to move himself into the 9th place on the first lap. Alan Willems out on track as well. Oh, Colin slaps the wall off of turn number 4. That's going to disallow his time, and unfortunately for him, going through the grass is not going to be the way that he wants to get that going here, as that's going to put him towards the back of the field. Brian D's out on track now, just crossing the line. Pardon me, I'm just having some little technical issues right there, but we got them all straightened out now. And Brian D's coming down the backstretch now for his second lap, currently in the 12th position. Let's see if he can improve on his time. He's able to get that car almost all the way down to that blue line as he pushes off of turn number 4. Saw TJ Floyd have a little bit of a push there. He's going to come across the line, and Brian Dees is going to move up into the 9th position. Stephen Black out on track now. Brand new paint job for him. So he's on his first hot lap here as he comes through turns 3 and 4. Another one of our playoff drivers who's in a win it to move on type mentality right now as he comes across the line. On his first lap, he's going to move up to 12th. And you can see Stephen Black getting right down on that blue line. One of the first cars we've really seen tonight. Able to lock it down there on that blue line. Make it the shortest way around the track. So he gets that thing right down. Locked in almost over the blue line a little bit. Comes off of turn number 4 through the quad oval. Across the stripe. Hard wreck, but he's going to roll off in 4th place right now unless somebody can out-qualify him. Stephen Black showing how much he loves these high downforce, low horsepower cars. With the way he came across the line there. Here comes Brian Nudie. Up to the 6th spot on his first lap. Cassie Willems on Facebook says, "Let's go Colin and Mather." Always here rooting on Colin and Nick, and we appreciate the support, Cassie, of you coming and watching every race with us and spending your time here with us on Intensity Broadcasting as Brian Nudie comes off of turn number 4 through the quad oval and across the stripe. And he's going to move up into the 3rd position. Another driver who's in a must-win situation right now. Eddie Morris out on track. Yet another driver who I would put in a must-win situation here. And doesn't look like he's going to be putting a lap down at all. Is Michael White out on track right now? And we saw earlier Michael White was 2nd in practice. Oh, he gets loose off of turn number 4. Oh, slaps the wall just a little bit. That's going to end his qualifying attempt, unfortunately for him. Not going to be able to... he might be able to get out there, refire, and try to get a lap in. We'll have to see if he does. As you see him peeling off here on pit road, trying to get a lap in here. I don't think he crossed the stripe, so he should be okay to try to get a lap in here. Corleone Mathers says, "Let's go Nick and Colin." Another one always showing their support. We appreciate you joining us tonight here on Intensity Broadcasting, as time is expired. That's going to bring us to our starting lineup. And on pole tonight, the number 2 machine of Isaiah Gill with Colin Willems starting to his outside. In row number 2, we're going to find the 40 of Brian Nudie and the 5 of Bobby Mays. Row 3, the 98 of Stephen Black and the 55 of Kyle Mays. In the 4th row, you're going to find the 49 of TJ Floyd and the 74 of Brian Merle Jr. Row 5 is going to see the 95 of Michael Provolt and the 22 of Chris Wheeler. Your 6th row will be the 27 of Brian Dees with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence to his outside. In the 7th row, you'll find Sylvan Seguin in the 66 with Nick Mather to his outside in the 16 machine. David Wright will be rolling off in the 15th spot with Zachary Cox to his outside in row number 8. Then the 09 of Michael White and Eddie Morris in row number 9. And rounding out the field tonight is going to be the 019 of Brandon White. So a bit of a small field here. But small field doesn't mean a bad thing. It can always be a good race when you have a small field in here. Mick Olofsson says, "Where's my boy Will Witt?" Will is out of town tonight. He's not going to be in the race. We hope you stick around because it should be a good one here as we got a small field of 20 cars. Getting ready to take on Charlotte Motor Speedway. A bunch of drivers. Going to have some drama as it is. A couple drivers are in a win it to get in and move on to the next round. Drivers like Isaiah Gill, Brian Nudie, Stephen Black, Bobby Mays, Eddie Morris, Chris Wheeler. These guys can win and move on. So these guys are going to be trying to battle hard to get into the next round of the playoffs. Race information tonight. Race is going to be 125 laps in length. The stage break will be at lap number 25. They'll have 2 sets of tires in the pits and 1 reset. And there'll be 3 green-white checkers if we need them. But hopefully with the small field tonight, should be a pretty clean and safe race here as Isaiah Gill's going to lead them down to the starting line with Colin Willems to his outside. Mick Olofsson says going to have to root for Colin then. Hey, pick a driver, any driver here. There's a lot of good ones. As the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Isaiah Gill gets into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and a great start for Colin Willems on the outside as he's able to stay right there with Isaiah Gill as they rocket through turns 1 and 2. Brian Nudie trying to give Isaiah a little push ahead. You see Bobby Mays trying to give Colin Willems a little push, but Bobby gets out of it a little bit. He falls back. He's got Kyle Mays right there. Now Stephen Black looking at the bottom. We're 3 wide coming into turn number 3 on the first lap as Stephen Black pushes down there. Oh, gets a little loose there. Almost loses it up the track. He's got TJ Floyd now all over his back bumper, giving him a push. Colin Willems is actually going to lead the first lap here as he's battling with Isaiah Gill on the outside as they come through turns 1 and 2. And looks like Colin's going to get a great run here off of turn number 2. Stephen Black still kind of fighting back there. He's side by side with Kyle Mays as here's Colin Willems. Got to clear Isaiah Gill. Get that fresh air and set sail here. Lead lap number 2. A little further back, Stephen Black now underneath Kyle Mays trying to make that move around him for that 5th position. We already saw Stephen Black get a little loose. And now Stephen Black, move him up into the 5th position. Michael Provolt, Brian Dees, and TJ Floyd with a little battle here. See Brian Dees underneath Provolt, trying to take that position away. Trying to move himself up into the 8th position. With Chris Wheeler right there, right behind. Colin Williams with a mirror full of Isaiah Gill, though. Isaiah is not going away. Now Isaiah is able to look a little bit lower here than Colin, trying to get off the corner. Meanwhile, Brian Nudie and Bobby Mays going at it for the 3rd position. Bobby's got that low inside lane, trying to take the short way around the track. Oh, he pushes up a little bit, almost into the side. Brian Nudie, he has to lift and get out of it. That's going to allow Stephen Black. Oh, Stephen Black gets turned right here on the front stretch by Bobby Mays. Yellow is out. Oh, they're still wrecking. But Stephen Black, it's turned around, and that's going to bring up our first Wreckage Rewind of the night. Looks like Eddie Morris might have been involved in that as well. Brian Merrill Jr. possibly as well. We'll see exactly what happened with our Wreckage Rewind here. See if we can get a better camera view of what happened. As they're coming off the corner here. Yeah, Bobby Mays just catches the wall, bounces down into Stephen Black. Stephen hits the wall head on at a very bad angle. They both come back across the track. Stephen's able to hold it up against the wall, but Bobby goes sliding back down across the track. When that happens, he catches Sylvan Seguin. Looks like Michael White might have a little piece of that as well. Eddie Morris catching the wall. Gets down. Did he catch Nick Mather? He does catch Nick Mather just a little bit right there. Brian Merrill Jr. trying to get it low down. Stops. Doesn't make any contact with the 5 machine. But let's see if we can see what happened to Eddie Morris there, because Eddie got a little piece of that as well as he was trying to get low down. Oh, he actually got hit by Nick Mather. Oh, and Cheeseburger locked it up trying to avoid things as well. He gets up into the wall. So quite a few cars involved. We see Stephen Black heading down pit road. Going to get his damage fixed. Let's see if he can, if he's going to get the damage fixed or if he's going to take his reset this early in the race. Yep, he's going to just pop that thing back into place. Take that reset and hope for the best here for the rest of the race. Brian Merrill Jr. on pit road, getting some damage fixed. Michael Lawrence as well, saving that reset. Sylvan, looks like he's going to get some tires. Eddie Morris here getting some damage fixed as opposed to taking that reset, saving that for a little bit later. As our leader, Colin Williams, is down on the backstretch. Right behind the pace car. Let's catch up on our chats over here. Will Witt says where he's at and says he's going to be missing both races this week. When you say both races, that mean the truck race, the cup race, when you'll be here for the Pelican race? And Will Witt says he'll be part of the bot squad this week. Go Colin. So Will, I'll be interested to know, are you going to be in the Pelican race this week? As the playoffs have started in the Pelican series as well. You can check out the Pelican Snowball Series over on Dakota Campers season there, or sorry, broadcaster there. That's Throttle Up Racing Network. So check them out. I know me, Joe, and Dave compete in that as well, along with Eddie. So a few Intensity broadcasters and Intensity drivers that will be there in the Pelican Series. Looks like he's going to miss the Pelican race this week as well. So tough to miss, Will. We'll miss you, man. Hopefully see you back next week. And looking at the points, I believe Will does have enough points to carry over to the next week. Well, it might be a little close for him. We'll have to see what happens here with Brian Nudie and Bobby Mays. As Daniel Mitchell is not racing as well, so we know he's going to drop out of the top 8. So we'll have to see if Will is able to stay in the top 8 after this, or if he's going to lose out here. But when it comes to the playoff standings, we'll take a look at our playoff standings once again here. Like I mentioned before, Brian Newty, Bobby Mays, Stephen Black, Isaiah Gill, they are in a must-win situation, especially Stephen Black and Isaiah Gill missing the race last week. One of those guys has to win to move forward in the playoffs because they're already 30 points in the hole. Well, the lights on the pace car are off. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, get ready to refire them here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, with our leader Colin Willems choosing the inside lane here with Isaiah Gill on the outside. It's going to put Brian Newty behind him with Kyle Mays behind Isaiah, so we'll have to see if one of those guys are able to give a good shove here on the restart to move one of those two forward. Stephen Black going to be restarting back in the 14th position after getting involved in that last incident. Along with Bobby Mays starting back in 18th, Eddie Morris in 19th. Sylvan Seguin will be back in 17th, Cheeseburger in 16th. And Dave Wright looks like he just went in and topped off again to get some fuel, so he'll be starting back in the 15th position. So pace car gets ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Green flag is back in the air. Great jump here for Colin Willems, as allows Isaiah Gill to slide in behind. Here's Brian Newty and Kyle Mays battling hard. They're side by side for that third position. Brian Newty's going to pull ahead of Kyle here and move himself in the third place. He's going to try to get going and catch Isaiah Gill. Great start too for Brian Dees. Able to get another position. Now he's going to start working on the 49 TJ Floyd. He's going to look down to the inside, coming through the quad oval. They're side by side across the stripe, and as they come through quad oval to enter turn number 1, Brian Dees is going to have that inside lane, that little bit of advantage, the shorter way around. Here comes Michael Provolt on the back, coming to the back of TJ Floyd, and Dees is not able to clear. They're wheel to wheel, side by side, down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Chris Wheeler shoves it in there as well. TJ Floyd gets a little tight, pushes up the track. That's going to allow Chris Wheeler and Michael Provolt to get on by. Here comes the 019 of Brandon White. He's going to try to move to the inside of TJ Floyd. Almost some contact between those two, and White's going to put himself in front of TJ here and slide TJ back to the 9th position. Up front, Colin Willems has gotten passed by both Isaiah Gill and Brian Newty, and now he's getting passed by Kyle Mays here, and we'll have to see if we can see what happened here to Colin Willems. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to Colin. This is a replay of the pass here. Isaiah Gill just shoving it down underneath there, coming through the quad oval. That allows Brian Newty to get the big run there, and the two of them are going to go right around Colin Willems, and then Colin's going to have to battle it out with Kyle Mays. Looks like Kyle's going to drop in behind. Here comes Brian Dees down to the back bumper of Kyle Mays. We're working lap number 14. Remember, the stage will end on lap number 25. Michael White and Stephen Black. Stephen Black coming back through the field already up into the 10th position, getting around the 09 of Michael White. Now he's going to set his sights on TJ Floyd. We'll have to see how fast he's able to get back up there. Now TJ and Brandon White battling side by side. That's for 8th and 9th here, and while they're battling side by side, it's going to allow Stephen Black to catch them and try to get around. Here he goes, looking down to the inside, the 019. As they go into turn number 3, Stephen Black is going to be able to take that position away and move Stephen Black up into the 9th position, as he's going to set his sights on TJ Floyd. Right behind Zachary Cox is coming right along here with these guys as well, as starting to move himself forward, but Stephen Black on a mission to get back up to the front. Colin Willems now under pressure from Brian Nudie. He got back around Nudie to take that 2nd place back, but here comes Nudie back down to the bottom side. They're side by side, wheel through turns 3 and 4 as they come through the quad oval, giving each other a lot of racing room. Here comes Kyle Mays as well. Kyle Mays giving Colin Willems a big shove here, almost super speedway drafting as they go through turns 1 and 2. Now Kyle down to the bottom, trying to give Brian Nudie the hand. Catches the apron just a little bit, slides up the track. That's going to kill his momentum, which is also going to kill the momentum of the 17. Here comes Brian Nudie back down to the bottom, side by side. Great racing here between these two drivers, giving each other a lot of room, a lot of give and take here, and a lot of respect between the driver of the 40 and the 17. Here comes Brian Dees now, looking down to the inside of Kyle Mays. He's going to put his car in position to take that position away, move him up into the 4th position around Kyle Mays here. Chris Wheeler trying to help out as well. Here comes Kyle Mays fighting back on the high side, though, with no big run and nowhere to take it, as he's got a roadblock of Colin Willems and Brian Nudie right in front of him. As these 5 cars right here throw them under a blanket as they're battling for 2nd through 5th here. Actually 2nd through 6th as Chris Wheeler is there. And you can call Michael Provolt 7th in this battle as well, as he's starting to sneak into the picture. Here comes Kyle Mays around Colin Willems, and here comes Dees trying to get around Willems as well as they come off of turn number 4. Dees is going to stay in it. He's going to get a fender underneath the 55 of Kyle Mays. They almost make a little bit of contact. He's almost had to get out of it a little bit there. Now he's trying to get back around Willems here and get back to the back bumper of the 55. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Great battles all over the track. While this is all going on, Isaiah Gill has pulled out to a 2nd lead over Brian Nudie. Stephen Black moved himself up into the 9th position. And Stephen Black battling here. He's got Michael White to his inside. TJ Floyd trying to make it 3 wide for a second with Zachary Cox in this battle as well. Stephen Black moves to the outside of TJ Floyd, trying to use the momentum there to carry him by. He's going to get around TJ Floyd. Here comes TJ, though, trying to cross him over, looking back down to the bottom. Almost makes a little bit of contact. TJ pushes up the track pretty hard, and that's going to allow Stephen Black to kind of pull away just a little bit. Colin Willems is under attack now by the 22 of Chris Wheeler. Colin sliding backwards, falling back into the 6th position if Wheeler can get, Willems can get around. Excuse me. Oh, Willems almost loses it. Gets loose all by himself. Able to hold on to it. What a save. He's going to lose a few positions here, but he's going to be able to keep that thing rolling forward with no damage. He's going to fall all the way back. Looks like to the 10th position. Almost some contact there between him and the 9. And I don't know if there's a little contact there, but he was able to hold on to it. Incredible save. So now Willems trying to get himself back up to the front. So he's trying to work around the outside of Zachary Cox. And see the 09 of Michael White right behind him. Michael now looking down to the inside. I'm sure Colin's right rear tire isn't too happy right now. That thing's going to be warm and screaming at him. Up front, Brian Dees and Kyle Mays battling right now for 3rd and 4th. Dees up into the 3rd position. And up front, Isaiah Gill with over a 2nd lead on Brian Nudie as we're coming to lap number 25 Crossing the line. This is the start of the last lap of the stage. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody can get some extra stage points. Stephen Black, nowhere near contention to try to move himself forward unless something catastrophic happens in front of him. But Colin Willems falling all the way back to the 10th position, trying to get that one extra bonus point for staying in the top 10 as he's got the 09 of Michael White right behind him. Can Colin move himself forward to gain that last point? But here comes Isaiah Gill across the stripe, and he's going to win the stage. Brian Nudie's second, Brian D is third, Kyle Mays, Stephen Black, TJ Floyd, Zach Cox, Chris Wheeler, Michael Provolt, and Michael White as the caution comes out to complete the stage. And I do want to rewind kind of barbarically here to see if Michael White got around Colin here at the stripe. And it looks like, nope, Colin was able to beat him back to get that final playoff point. But Isaiah Gill getting those 10 bonus points and that one playoff point for winning the stage. Which, as I mentioned, Isaiah Gill being so far out of the points right now due to the missing a race last week, this is huge for him to be able to get himself moving forward. Again, he is in a must-win situation here to move himself into the next round of the playoffs, along with Brian Nudie, Stephen Black, Bobby Mays. We already saw Bobby Mays and Stephen Black have some issues here. So we're coming to pit stops here. The whole field is coming down. Actually, it looks like, nope, everybody does come down to pit road. We'll watch for the race off of pit road here. That yellow stripe with the green lines. That will be your race off pit road. Isaiah Gill's going to come off pit road first. Then Brian Dees, Kyle Mays, Zach Cox, TJ Floyd, Brian Nudie, Michael White, Dave Wright, Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, Colin Willems, Nick Mather, and Stephen Black. Cheeseburger rolling off. Here comes Brian Merle Jr. off of pit road next. So Brian D is getting it done on pit road, moving himself up another position up into second place. Kyle Mays, Zach Cox making some moves as well. So as I'm looking at the pit times here, Isaiah Gill, 8 seconds. Brian Dees, 7.25. Kyle Mays, 7.6. Zachary Cox, 4.38. TJ Floyd, 6.7. Brian Nudie looks like the first car to take 4 tires, 12.23. Stephen Black also taking tires on this stop, along with Brian Merle Jr. Let's see if we can see the pit times here for everybody. And those aren't how many spots they gained on pit road. That's how many spots they've gained since the drop of the green flag. As we cross the line this time by, the lights on the pace car should go off. We'll get ready to re-rack them, restack them, get ready to refire here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And don't forget to join us tomorrow night as we're going to have the double header with the LNS Customs Late Model Series kicking off before the iOS Truck Series right here on Intensity Broadcasting. LNS Late Model Series has been a great series so far. If you like some late model short track action, check that out. The iOS Truck Series is going to conclude the first round of the playoffs at New Hampshire Motor Speedway tomorrow night. Be a few more eliminated, just like we see tonight here. A couple cars are going to get eliminated. Well, there'll be a couple trucks getting eliminated from the playoffs tomorrow night, so check that out here on Intensity Broadcasting. Then Friday we'll have our Original Rebels Xfinity Series, followed by Saturday the Xfinity Original Rebels Cup Series, and then the truck doubleheader. So we're getting ready to go back racing. Isaiah Gill, your leader, is going to choose the high side this time. Leaving Brian Dees on the bottom as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And Isaiah immediately hits that loud pedal, gets himself out to a great lead. Kyle Mays giving Brian Dees a great push. He's going to move himself around Zachary Cox into the third position. It'll be interesting to see how Brian Nudie and Stephen Black can work those new tires and see if they're faster and can get themselves up to the front. Pretty mild restart. Colin Willems already making some big moves here with Eddie Morris. Both of them trying to get around the 95 of Michael Provolt. TJ Floyd and Brian Nudie now side by side. Nudie almost gets a little loose there, trying to get around the 49 here. And with those fresher tires, we're seeing Nudie being able to hold that bottom lane. And he's going to accelerate off of turn number 2. I think through 3 and 4 this time he will be able to clear him. Kyle Mays with all over the back bumper of the 27. Take a look back from the back bumper of Brian Dees here. And take a look off the front nose of Kyle Mays. David Wright with a little battle back here. He's trying to get around Michael White. He's got Colin Willems right behind him. Colin, we saw him have a little issues on that first run, getting a little sideways, losing a bunch of positions, trying to make his way back up to the front. Kyle Mays now under attack from Stephen Black. Stephen Black just drives right around the 55 on those new tires, and he's making his way now around Brian Dees, and he is incredibly much faster on those fresh tires. Almost a second a lap faster than our leaders. He's looking to the high side of Isaiah Gill. As he works around that high side, he's going to take the lead after getting caught up in that wreck earlier. And that just shows how much Stephen Black loves these cars here at this track and this high downforce, low horsepower package. His favorite thing to run here on iRacing. And you can see it as he's starting to pull his lead on Isaiah Gill to almost over a second. A little further back, Eddie Morris working around the 09 of Michael White. Moves himself into the 10th position. Now he's going to set his sights on Colin Willems. Great battle here. With David Wright in 8th. Colin 9th. Eddie 10th. Michael White 11th. So here comes Colin looking down to the bottom of David Wright as we saw Eddie Morris and Michael White almost make a little contact there. Michael Provolt coming into the picture as well. And Provolt and White battling hard back there, but Provolt's going to start to fade just a little bit. Colin Willems is trying to get around David Wright, just not able to find the place to make the pass. As Eddie Morris comes in here as well, and Eddie had a great run there, but had to check up to keep from running into the back of Colin Williams. Up front, Isaiah Gill now having a little pressure now from behind. And that's a 27 Brian Dees. And most of the field is caught up single file, and this would be a great time, time to pump up the intensity. So a great battle going on here. We see David Wright getting around TJ Floyd again. Move himself into the 7th position. Here comes Colin Williams trying to get around as well. Looking down to the bottom side of David Wright. David gets a little loose there off of turn number 2. And now Colin Williams down to the bottom. TJ all the way up against the wall. Eddie Morris doing a good job of not splitting them. Thought about jumping in the middle there. As we see TJ all over the back bumper of Colin here. As Colin is making the move now to the inside of David Wright. Here comes Eddie Morris trying to get to the inside of TJ. It's just not going to happen there. It's an incredible battle between all these cars right here. Doing a good job staying off each other. Stephen Black has got himself out to a gigantic lead. Almost 8 seconds over Isaiah Gill right now. As he works lap number 45. So Stephen Black all by himself on the track. Let's take a look at the track map here. And you can see just how much of a lead Stephen Black has. As Stephen's coming across the line right now, Isaiah Gill is just coming off of turn number 4. And now Isaiah's crossing the line, so Stephen Black has this car hooked up. And we all know, everybody who races with Stephen Black and runs in the iOS series knows just how much Stephen loves this car and this package. And you're showing it right now with a great run and a great lead as he's almost out to 9 seconds here. I bet Stephen Black wishes that all the cars drove the way this low horsepower, high downforce package handles, because he's putting on a clinic right now with almost a 9-second lead. A little further back, Colin Williams and Eddie Morris now battling side by side. Both of them have gotten around David Wright, and now they're battling side by side. This is for 7th and 8th position. D. Wright back in 9th. Some tight racing there. Oh, Eddie Morris gets a little loose off the corner there. Able to hold on to it, but that's going to allow these guys to get a little bit of a run here on him. Well, it looks like they actually checked up a little bit. They keep from getting in the back, and here comes Colin right back to the inside quarter panel of the 84. Here comes Nick Mather looking to the outside. Nick with a great run. He's going to try to take that run to the outside to get around Colin here and move himself up in the 9th place, but right now he's going to settle back into 10th. Well, up front, Isaiah Gill still has a mirror full of Brian Dees. And Kyle May sitting right there as well. Brian Nudie falling back to the 6th position. I don't know if the tires are just not working for him right now or what, but he's fallen back quite a bit. And he's, again, one of the drivers that needs to win to get into the next round. Diane Kemp Mather says, let's go, Nick. Nick's currently up into the top 10 as he's working around the outside of Colin Willems right now, trying to take that 9th position away. While that's going on, it's allowed Eddie Morris to start pulling away from this group right here. Michael White involved now. He's in this little pack here. So they come through the quad oval. David Wright starting to pull away just a little bit with the side-by-side battle of the 16 and the 17 of Nick Mather and Colin Willems, respectively. Here comes Michael White trying to make a little run here, and a couple cars on pit road as well, as TJ Floyd and Chris Wheeler have both come on to pit road. Ooh, Colin got a little loose there in front of Nick, and that caused Nick to check up. And now Michael White is looking down to the inside, not able to make the move just quite yet. And now David Wright and Eddie Morris, or David Wright has caught back up to Eddie Morris in front of this group as Nick Mather now looks back to the outside of Colin, trying to take that position away. Ooh, Nick got a little loose there, but able to hold on to it. And we've seen that loose off of turn number 2 being really fast as the car that's been able to hold on to it off the corner has gotten a little launch there and able to move themselves forward. Now he's going to set his sights on the 84 of David Wright. Nick with the momentum on the high side. He's able to drive right around David and move Nick up into the 8th position, going after Eddie Morris right behind Michael White. Looking now, giving a big push to David Wright, trying to push them right by Colin Willems, which they do. Move Colin back into the 11th position. Zachary Cox on pit road, making his scheduled stop. As we just crossed into lap number 53. Stephen Black now with a over 10-second lead on Isaiah Gill. And now we got Brian Dees all over, literally all over the back bumper. It was less than a 1/10 of a second between these two just a moment ago. Dees is looking for the opportunity to get a good run here to get around the 2 of Isaiah Gill. Kyle Mays right there as well. Just in case one of these guys makes a mistake, as Dees looks to the outside of Gill as they come down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Can Dees make that high line work here? We've seen it work so far for a lot of drivers. Getting that big launch off the corner, through the quad oval. Dees is just going to be ahead of Gill by a hair as they cross the line here, but Isaiah's fighting back on the inside. Good thing the race didn't end right there because I wouldn't have been able to call that one. Brian Dees almost gets clear of Isaiah Gill as they head into turns 3 and 4. That high lane really having the huge advantage here as they're able to hold so much more speed on the high side on these older tires. And Dees is going to clear Gill through the quad oval and into turn number 1. And here comes Kyle Mays trying to do the same thing as Nick Mather just went around Eddie Morris, moved Nick Mather up into the 6th position. And now he's got about 4 seconds to get back up to Brian Nudie Isaiah Gill falling back right now. Just got passed by Kyle Mays. Looks like his car is starting to push like a dump truck right now. A Gill's dump truck, if you will. As he's falling all the way back from the lead to fourth. Well, there was no stopping Stephen Black, who's now up over 11-second lead over the field. I imagine Stephen Black will probably be catching some lap traffic in a moment. Just take a look at the track map, and yeah, the next car is in the middle of the backstretch, and he's just coming off of turn number 2, so he is so much faster than anybody else on track right now. The only thing that can stop Stephen Black right now would be a caution. And we know how much cautions have plagued Stephen Black after leading races and dominating. So we'll have to see if this strategy works out in his favor. Michael White and Bobby Mays going at it here on track. Bobby Mays, another one of our winner go home drivers here. As Chris Wheeler has a great run here. Chris Wheeler and TJ Floyd, oh, some contact. Bobby Mays able to hold on to it. Chris Wheeler and TJ Floyd both on fresher tires. As you can see, the difference in speed here as TJ is trying to get his way back through the field. As he's going to go right around Colin and Eddie here. Here comes Chris Wheeler going around as well. Michael Provel on pit road right now, getting service done. Chris Wheeler trying to run down TJ Floyd. And great battle here. David Wright, Kyle Williams, Eddie Morris still going at it here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. So we're starting to see some strategy play into effect here. As Eddie Morris looks down to the inside of Colin Williams to take that position away. Colin really struggling on these tires. Kyle Mays now with Isaiah Gill in tow. Isaiah may have figured something out here because he's run Kyle Mays back down and is trying to take that third position back away. Zachary Cox now to the outside. He's on fresh tires. He is a lap down. He's just going to slice and dice here. Between cars, trying to get himself back around to try to get his lap back the hard way. But as fast as Stephen Black is running right now, I don't see him catching up and getting his lap back the hard way. Colin Williams now on pit road. Getting his service done. You see the right side's popping up. He's getting tires along with Bobby Mays on pit road as well. You see Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence now going around the 2 of Isaiah Gill. He is a lap down after he just had service done. So he's on fresh tires. And you can really see the difference that fresh tires make. As Cheeseburger has moved himself around Kyle Mays as well. Eddie Morris and David Wright going at it still. This is for 7th and 8th. Move Eddie back around the 84 of David Wright. How about Nick Mather having a great run up in the 6th position? It's running faster lap times right now than Brian Nudie. So slowly eating into Nudy's gap here. He's about 2 seconds back. I don't think he's going to catch him before he has to make his pit stop. Kyle Mays, though, still with Isaiah Gill in tow. Isaiah's cut that lead down to 0.3 seconds. So whatever Isaiah did to try to save some tires here at the end of this run to try to catch back up, it's been working. Stephen Black now just getting around the 74 of Brian Merle Jr. That was the lap traffic I was talking about before. So he still has over a 12-second lead over second place Brian Dees. As now Brian Dees and Isaiah Gill both hit down the pit road. So that's going to move Brian Nudie and Kyle Mays up in the second. Brian Nudie in the third. Nick Mather in the fourth position as Nick has caught Brian Nudie here. We know Nudie took tires on that last stop. It doesn't look like it's working out for him now, as he might have been pushing too hard. Here comes Nick Mather looking down to the inside. That's going to move Nick Mather up into the second position as Kyle Mays has just hit pit road, coming down to his pit stall. So Nick Mather up into second place, and as our leader, Stephen Black hits pit road. We'll follow our leader down to pit road here to see what he does, as he had such a dominant run here. He was so far ahead. Now Nick Mather on the pit road as well. Stephen Black taking fuel only here. So he accelerates and gets himself back up to speed. That's going to put Brian Nudie up into the lead. See Brian Nudie really slow there. I think it's just because of those older tires. You got Nick Mather, Eddie Morris, and David Wright all on pit road, getting their service done. Here comes the two of Isaiah Gill around the 40 of Brian Nudie. As you can see how much different those new tires make. Here comes Colin Willems getting around Nudie to get his lap back as well, along with 55 of Kyle Mays. Here comes Brian Nudie on the pit road. Able to get woed down in time. Second place right now is Zachary Cox. He's 12 seconds back currently. And I believe Zachary Cox is going to go right on by Brian Nudie, which he does, to take the lead. Stephen Black right there as well. See Eddie Morris, who took tires, battling with Stephen Black. Although they are a lap difference right now. Eddie Morris currently runs in 14th with Stephen Black in second. And Zachary Cox pit on lap 52. Had a 14-second pit stop. And is running the same time as Stephen Black right now. So, wondering if Stephen actually saved anything on that run. Or if he's trying to save a set of tires for later on in the race. As Zachary Cox comes across the line to complete lap number 72. We are just about 50 laps to go here at Charlotte. With a pretty uneventful race, we had the early crash on lap 4 involving Stephen Black and Bobby Mays. The only other yellow we've had tonight was the stage break at lap 25. And now we've got Zachary Cox out there leading over Stephen Black by 2.5 seconds. We'll have to see if any kind of strategy pays off here for Zachary. Or if Stephen Black is going to be able to run him back down. We see a little battle back here between Isaiah Gill and TJ Floyd as Isaiah is able to get back around TJ. Isaiah is going to be scored up into the 4th position. Here comes Brian Dees looking to the inside of Cheeseburger Lawrence. Michael Lawrence is a lap down, running in 17th, with Brian Dees up in 3rd. And at the moment, he is running Stephen Black down as he is the fastest car on track right now. Last time by, he ran a 30.86. Actually, the only car faster than him that lap was the 2 of Isaiah Gill. Well, I take that back. Brian Newty just ran a 30.29 on fresh tires. So, a couple cars out on fresh tires. As Stephen Black's last lap was a 32.37. So, he's 2 seconds off the pace of guys like Brian Dees and Isaiah Gill, Brian Newty. We'll have to see if that changes his strategy here, or if he's going to have to stop one more time and take tires to make it to the end. Battle going on here is Chris Wheeler is trying to get around the 09 of Michael White, or is it the other way around? Michael White trying to get around Chris Wheeler on the bottom side, and the 09 is going to move himself up into the 8th position as Chris Wheeler almost catches the wall there. Able to hold on to it. Now Michael White's going to set his sights on TJ Floyd. Try to take that 7th position away as he looks down to the inside of TJ. TJ comes fighting back on the outside, but nothing that he can do as the 09 has fresher tires, is just so much faster. Michael White moves up into the 7th position. Stephen Black now. Brian Dees has caught Stephen Black. They're side by side, and it's not going to be much of a battle. As Brian Dees is just going to have to pull over. I'm sorry, Stephen Black is just going to have to pull over and let Brian Dees by. It was an interesting call for Stephen Black not to take tires there. We'll have to see if his strategy call pays off. Chris Wheeler trying to catch TJ Floyd here. Trying to take over that 7th position. Brian Newty now catching Chris Wheeler. Going to take over that 9th position as you see fresh tires really making a huge difference here. In a track like Charlotte, tires are premium here. You want to have the freshest tires than anybody else, and you can see why, as Brian Newty is just able to drive underneath the 49 of TJ Floyd to take away that 8th position. And now it's a second gap up to the 09 of Michael White. So Brian Newty, by far the fastest car on track. The only driver who's still able to run 30-second laps. Everybody else is running 31 or 32-second laps. As we got a battle up front as Brian Dees has just gone around Zachary Cox to take over the lead here. Let's take a look at the pass here, as it really wasn't much he could do. Brian Dees looks up to the high side. He's going to easily just drive around. Isaiah Gill just moved around Stephen Black to take away the 3rd spot from Stephen. And kind of the same thing, just fresh tires, able to drive right on by. And we're going to see it again as Brian Newty has the 09 of Michael White right here. Cheeseburger pulls down to the bottom, gets out of the way. There goes Brian Newty right around. Move himself into 2nd place, and he's going to start setting his sights on Colin Williams. Chris Wheeler, Bobby Mays going at it. Bobby Mays on the inside. Looks like he's going to get right around Chris Wheeler here. Although Wheeler is fighting back pretty hard on that high side as they come off of turn number 2. Wheeler's going to get the drive off, and he's going to get back in front of Bobby Mays to hold on to that 10th position. So Stephen Black really starting to struggle here as he's falling backwards and falling into the clutches of Kyle Mays. I just don't know what the strategy was here, if he was just trying to get off strategy as Kyle Mays looks down to the inside and passes Stephen Black easily. Chris Wheeler and Bobby Mays still battling back here for 10th and 11th. Chris Wheeler is trying to get back to the back bumper of Bobby Mays and get that 10th position back. Brian Merle Jr. trying to catch the back bumper of David Wright to move himself up in the 14th. And now TJ Floyd has the 5. Bobby Mays all over his back bumper. Bobby Mays looks down to the bottom, just not able to make that move. As we ride along here with TJ Floyd. See Eddie Morris joining this battle as well. Trying to make a move here. Try to follow the 5 of Bobby Mays right on by. Eddie trying to get a little push here to the 5 car to try to get him right on by so he can take that position away from TJ Floyd as well. TJ almost up into the wall, able to hold on to it, so he's going to lose both positions here to Eddie Morse and Bobby Mays. Up front, Zachary Cox right around in second. He's got Isaiah Gill all over his back bumper now. Isaiah's looking down to the inside here as they come through the quad oval and across the stripe. Isaiah Gill's going to have him by just the nose, and he's going to clear him going into turn number 1. Colin Willems all over the back bumper of Brian Nudie. As we ride along with Brian Nudie now to see what he sees off the back bumper. Nick Mather is on pit road, getting his service done for the final time. Nick Mather with a 15-second pit stop, which means he took tires and fuel. We'll have to see how much difference those tires and fuels make for him, as he's fallen all the way back to 17th. Isaiah Gill starting to run Brian Dees down. But as I mentioned, I believe everybody's going to have to stop one more time. TJ Floyd and Chris Wheeler now on pit road as well, making their final stops. And my question is, when's Stephen Black going to come in to make his final pit stop, take those tires, and see if he can drive himself back up to the front, as Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence also hits pit road now. You'll see at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the pit information as it's flashing pit. That means they're heading into their pit stall. Once it stops flashing and just says pit like it does now for Lawrence, that means he's in his pit stall getting his service done. And as he leaves, you'll see the pit stop time. $15.7 for Lawrence. As he's leaving pit road now, he's going to go a lap down. As we see the 22 of Chris Wheeler on much fresher tires than Isaiah Gill, trying to get back around, get his lap back as he looks to the outside of Gill. Little side draft there on the leader. He's going to move himself around. He's going to clear Isaiah here and get his lap back the hard way. You saw Isaiah Gill slip up a little bit there, almost got into the wall. That's an indication that these tires are starting to go away a little bit. He's just not able to hold on to where he was before, as TJ Floyd, who just took tires, gets right around Isaiah to move himself back onto the lead lap as well. Zachary Cox, Michael White, both on pit road as we speak, to get their final service down. Brian Dees, our leader, rolls on the pit road. So our leader now on pit road. So we'll have to see anybody else follow suit here with Brian Dees and pits in the next couple laps. Colin Willems up into the 4th position, so having a little bit of a recovery after that early loose almost spin. Another driver, Kyle Mays, on the pit road for his final service. Another driver having a much-needed good run here is the 8 of Eddie Morris. Eddie, another driver that's in a must-win situation, sitting there right on the bubble. Not quite out, but not locked in. Bobby Mays also hitting pit road. Bobby Mays just leaving pit road as we speak. So Isaiah Gill and Brian Newby are going to be running 1 and 2 here, with Stephen Black almost 9 seconds behind Brian Newby. So Isaiah Gill is going to make easy work here of David Wright. David on some much older tires. Trying not to hold up the leader too much. Colin Willems on the pit road. As we cross the line this time, to complete lap number 99 and start lap 100. Next time by, we'll have just 25 laps to go. I don't think Isaiah or Brian Newby can make it to the end. I don't think anybody can make it to the end from here. So I have to see how pit strategy is going to work out, as we only have 5 cars out on the lead lap right now. Michael Provolt in 5th place is the last car on the lead lap. See Bobby Mays going around Isaiah Gill to get his lap back the hard way. Michael Provolt, as I was just speaking, goes down a lap as he pits. So that leaves quite a few cars, only a handful of cars left to pit here. Isaiah Gill, Brian Newby, Stephen Black, Eddie Morris. Oh, Isaiah Gill coming to pit road, almost locks him up and almost misses pit road. Able to get it woed down. So our leader comes into pit here. Brian Newby is going to take over the lead now. So that's going to leave just Brian Newty, Stephen Black, Eddie Morris, David Wright, Brian Merle Jr. left the pit for the final time. As Kyle Mays trying to get his lap back from Brian Newty here. He's going to easily get it back with those fresher tires. It looks like Stephen Black has slowed down quite a bit here. Oh, Stephen Black's coming to pit road. So this will be, I'm sure, 4 tires and fuel for Stephen Black to make it to the end. Actually, I don't even think you're going to need a full tank of fuel, so he might only take 2 tires here. So he slides to his pit stall. The right side's up on the car. And we saw just how much faster he was on fresh tires than everybody else. Left side's up. He's down and away. So we'll have to see if with 22 laps to go, if it's going to be enough time for Stephen Black to get back up to the front. Brian Newty, still your leader, just got passed by Isaiah Gill. Isaiah, again, on fresh tires, so able to pull right on by with no issues. Brian's got almost a 10-second lead over Eddie Morris. Eddie Morris is coming down the pit road now. So that leaves Brian Newty all by himself. And let's ride along with Brian here. See if he's doing any fuel saving. Listen if he lifts off early. Some drivers, you'll hear him shut the car off through the corner. Brian Newty continues to stay out. And he's quickly, we can see the interval between Brian Newty and Brian Dees dropping. As right now it's 15 seconds, but you can see just how much quicker Brian Dees is than Brian Newty right now. As you can watch that indicator right there. Now it's under 14 seconds. So as I mentioned earlier, tires are a premium, and you're starting to see that right now. As Brian Newty still has to come in and pit. He has not been on pit road since lap number 70. David Wright coming into pit this time. It'll be interesting to see if Brian Newty tries a strategy, maybe taking 2 tires here and enough fuel to finish. Or if he goes ahead and takes 4 tires and fuel. But with only 18 laps to go, I imagine it'll probably be a quick stop, if he even has to stop at all. Brian Merle Jr. now hitting pit road, which tells me if Dave Wright and Brian Merle Jr. hit pit road, Brian Newty will probably be coming in the next lap or 2. As Brian Newty comes down past pit road this time, he's going to stay out at least another lap. And I'm sure right now he's hoping for a caution as Brian Merle Jr. finishes his service and leaves pit road. A little battle going on back here between Kyle Mays and Isaiah Gill. This is for 3rd and 4th on the track right now. And Brian Dees has cut Brian Newty's lead now down to under 9 seconds. TJ Floyd and Bobby Mays having a little battle here on track. This is for 10th and 11th. And as we know, Bobby Mays is fighting right now for his playoff life. Trying to get every point he can get here. There's, almost some contact there between Brian Merle Jr., David Wright, and TJ Floyd as Jr. able to get on by. Here comes Dave Wright looking underneath TJ Floyd. TJ almost gets up into the wall, able to hold on to it. Now Brian Nudie hits pit road. So your leader on pit road, this will be the last car needing to pit here. And that's going to give the lead to Brian Dees. And Stephen Black is now just past Michael White. He's got 6 seconds to make up to catch Colin Willems in 5th. And I don't know if there's going to be enough time for Stephen Black to make up that much time. So he's going to go right around Brian Nudie. Right now, Stephen Black is probably praying for a caution to get himself back up to the lead, to win this thing, to move himself into the next round of the playoffs. But as we see, Brian Dees looking to the inside of TJ Floyd, trying to put TJ a lap down here. So TJ will be the first car 1 lap down. And Brian Dees continues to control the pace of this race. So pit stops really spread the field out quite a bit here. As you can see, the track is pretty much cars all over it, which means there's no real battles out on track right now. So actually, we got a little one right here. Eddie Morris and Chris Wheeler going at it. Eddie Morris on fresher tires, so he's going to easily drive around Chris Wheeler around the high side here, move Eddie up into 9th place. And Eddie Morris is catching Brian Nudie pretty quickly. Brian Nudie took fuel only. And I think that might have hurt his chances here as he's sliding backwards. He's almost a second slower than Eddie Morris right now, and Eddie Morris is coming in a hurry. And you'll see Eddie Morris take that 8th position away almost single-handedly from Brian Nudie here, as those fresh tires make all the difference. Here goes Nudie. Can't even throw a block. Eddie Morris just that much faster. And Nudie's going to fall back into the 9th position. Stephen Black trying to catch Colin Willems, and he's reeling him in. Unfortunately, I think it's just a little too late. A little too late. As he still has almost 4 seconds to make up on Colin Willems here. Brian Dees with a 3.5 second lead over Isaiah Gill, running back in 2nd. Kyle Mays sitting back in 3rd. Zachary Cox in 4th. Colin Willems in 5th. So a lot of points going out to drivers who are not in the playoffs, taking away those playoff points. Bobby Mays starting to run down Chris Wheeler here. This is the battle for 10th right here on track. Bobby Mays trying to creep up there and get up to the back bumper of the 22. Try to take that position away. 7 laps to go. As Brian Dees makes his way through the quad oval here, and 6 laps to go as he crosses the line. Isaiah Gill still 3 seconds back. Kyle Mays sitting back in third with a great lead over Zach Cox. So right now it looks like Brian Dees might be walking away with this one with 5 laps to go unless the caution comes out. Eddie Morris getting around Michael White. Take away that 7th position. So Eddie Morris having a great run when he needs it. Colin Willems all by himself out there having a great run, sitting 5th. So a lot of our playoff drivers. Well, let's see here. We got Brian Dees putting Chris Wheeler another lap down here. Isaiah Gill, he's a playoff driver. Kyle Mays is a playoff driver. Zachary Cox is not a playoff driver. He's sitting in 4th place. Colin Williams, we all know he's a playoff driver, with Stephen Black, also a playoff driver. Eddie Morris in 7th in the playoffs. Michael White sitting here in 8th is not a playoff driver, but Brian Nudie is, and Brian Nudie wasn't a win to get in situation. We'll have to see if he's able to score enough points to move himself forward. Bobby Mays, another playoff driver in the top 10, just getting lapped by our leader. Chris Wheeler, playoff driver, sitting back in 11th. I believe that's all our playoff drivers that were in the race tonight. But with 2 laps to go, Brian Dees pretty much in cruise control with a 3-second lead over Isaiah Gill. He comes down the backstretch through turns 3 and 4, and he's going to pick up the white flag here as he crosses the line. Just 1 lap to go here at Charlotte. And all Brian Dees has to do is just ride steady, as he's almost putting Brian Nudie sitting back in 9th place a lap down. As he comes into turns 3 and 4 for the final time, Brian Dees is going to punch his ticket to the next round with a win here at Charlotte, with Isaiah Gill coming home in 2nd. Kyle Mays comes across the line in 3rd. Zachary Cox and Colin Williams 4th and 5th. Stephen Black comes home in 6th. Eddie Morris off of turn number 4. He'll finish 7th. Michael White, Brian Nudie, and Bobby Mays. Ooh, Bobby Mays having some issues here. He might be out of gas. I'm not sure if he was able to finish the race or not. It looks like he's being scored in the 10th position currently. Oh, we got some little wrecking after the race here, but Brian Dees is your winner here at Charlotte as he's trying to burn it down on the front stretch. That's one happy man right there. There's your winner, Brian Dees, burning it down on the front stretch. Happy as can be. Take a look at your final running order here. Again, Brian Dees is your winner, with Isaiah Gill coming home in 2nd. Kyle Mays 3rd. Zachary Cox 4th. Colin Williams 5th. Then Stephen Black brings it home in 6th, with Eddie Morris in 7th. Michael White 8th. Brian Nudie and Bobby Mays round out your top 10. Chris Wheeler comes home 11th. with Michael Provolt in 12th, TJ Floyd in 13th, Brian Merle Jr. coming home in 14th, David Wright, Nick Mather, Michael Lawrence, Sylvan Seguin, and Brandon White rounding out your field. Let's see if we can't have a word with our finishing drivers here as we take a look to see Kyle Mays is in the booth. So, Kyle, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I got you.
Man, a great run tonight. Needing have a good run here to keep moving forward in the playoffs as you pretty much punch your ticket to the next round. Great run overall. I know Bobby not having such a good race getting in there with Stephen Black at the beginning, but you were able to hold on and race hard. And how did the race go for you? And what was your strategy going in? And did it change at all having that long green flag run?
No, I mean I was racing D's and Isaiah there early on. I was just trying to stay with them and stay on the same strategy they was on to start with. And D's had a really good pit stop that first time, and it from there on he pretty much had it booked.
That's for sure. And it seemed like pit strategy and pit stops seemed to be the name of the game today. And looking back on it, is there anything you could have done differently to get up there to the win?
Not really. Just that first pit stop, I think I left a little bit on the table getting in the pits, and I think it cost me. So that's probably the only thing I could have done better. But D's did a good job. He drove a good race.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the podium here, sitting in third. And anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give before we let you go?
Just like to thank you guys for announcing this race.
Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. See you, Josh.
So that was your third place finisher right there, Kyle Mays. Let's talk with our second place finisher, Isaiah Gill. Isaiah, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, congratulations on the second place finish. I know it was a tough one. Strategies kind of changed throughout the race as the race went long green flag run. Were you kind of expecting this to go green flag as long as it did, or were you expecting a few more yellows there towards the end?
Um, I was expecting a few more yellow, especially when tire strategy got a little weird. I was expecting yellow, and it never came. I kind of need the yellow because we were on the same. I was on one lap fresher tires than Brian. I just need that yellow to be with him. He was too far ahead for me.
Yeah, for sure. He was the class of the field tonight. And going in, did you kind of have a set strategy, or were you just kind of playing it by ear? And did that change as the race went on?
I had to win, so I kind of was trying to hope to save a set for the last. And when I realized we had like 15 to go, I just took a set, and whatever happened happened.
For sure. And at least you came home in second. It might be enough. We'll have to see as the points shake out if your ticket gets punched to the next round. But before we let you go, anybody you want to thank or any shout outs you got to give tonight?
I'd like to thank Mary and my dad and Northwest Mini Stock Tour for letting me put my skills on the sim rig.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on second place. And we'll have to see if you get your ticket punched to the next round. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
That was your second place finisher, Isaiah Gill. And let's talk to our winner tonight, Brian Dees. Brian, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you. How's it going?
Man, heck of a run tonight to get the win. It looked like Stephen Black was the class of the field early as he got out to about a 14-second lead on the field, but it seemed like his pit strategy just wasn't enough to get himself back up there. And with the long green flag run, pit strategy just really seemed to be key tonight. What was it that got you up into the front? Because I know that first pit stop, you gained quite a few positions there to get yourself out in second.
Yeah, I think I finished the stage in third, and I think Nudie had a bit of a problem on his pit stop. I don't know if he slid the box or what happened exactly, but yeah, came out in second. I saw the Black took tires, so I knew he was gonna fly past us. I didn't take tires on that first stop, so I knew that I would have an extra set on him for the end of the race. So that was pretty much the strategy. Save my tires until the end, and then pray that there wasn't a caution.
For sure. And we know Stephen Black has had the bad luck of all the cautions towards the end of the race. I know you were not hoping for that, but going the opposite direction. And I asked the same question to the other two guys. Were you really expecting this to go green as long as it did?
I wish I could say that I expected it, but given the races that we've had so far this year, um, no, can't say I really did. But towards the middle, after the stage caution, um, we went green for. I mean, obviously we went green the rest of the way, but after like 25 laps or so, um, I knew everybody was probably spread out enough that there shouldn't be any problem. So, like I said, that's what I based my strategy on, just hoping that there wasn't a caution. I short pit the last two just to try to get a bit of a gap, and then towards the end, Isaiah had the fresher tires, so I wasn't sure if he was going to catch me or not. I was trying to reel myself in a little bit, trying to save tire just in case he did catch me, just make sure I had something left to fight him with.
Yeah, he was about 3/10 a lap faster than you there at the end, but you're able to hold on for the victory tonight here. Anybody you want to thank? Any shots you got to give before we let you go?
Gotta thank Michael Falk at MF Racing Designs. He did the paint scheme for this and pretty much all my cars. He does an awesome job. So big shout out and thanks to him.
Awesome, man. Well, again,
and thanks to you guys up in the booth. I go back and watch the broadcast every week. Probably go watch it tomorrow. Hopefully you guys were talking me up a bit, making me look good.
for sure. Well, impressive run tonight, coming back for the win. Big moves too, gaining 10 spots from when you qualified, and yeah, punches you right into the next round easily. So we'll see you as the playoffs continue.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it. Your winner, Brian Dees, tonight, with a great run there to the end to make it to get the victory and move on in the next round easily. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night as the LNS Late Model Series comes on before the iOS Truck Series. The Truck Series tomorrow night will be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and that'll be the cutoff for the round of 12 in the iOS Cup Series, or Truck Series, excuse me. Again, thanks for joining us tonight here on Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Find us on Twitter at Intensity Broad 1. And don't forget to download that awesome eRacing TV app at eRacing TV on your Roku and your Fire Stick. And join us tomorrow night. We hope to see you tomorrow. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.